Hello everyone and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. This is NeoBurgh and we have literally just put in all of our train tracks around this area. So we've put in a massive circular line which connects up Burgh Le Marsh, Alford, Bawtry, Dover and even Coulsdon together in one big circular network. So we have lines which go one way and lines which go the other way. So that should hopefully really help with traffic in the area. We've changed quite a bit about how the roads work a little bit, but mainly we've put in these big connections for the rest of the playthrough. We'll have these transport connections here. So instead of using buses between the two areas, we will now be using high-speed rail. So without further ado, the main thing that we need to do to set this up is have a connection through here. So I think the first thing that we really want to try and do is upgrade this a little bit so that we can actually have a transport network that will run efficiently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put on the other side of this one a building which will allow us to move where a lot of this is over to here. I don't think that we'll actually need this thinking about it, so what we may well do is just have it come down here and with the circular lines connect up to these quite easily. So if we did something like have the buses go on the outside, and we can even continue this one down, because this one will become quite popular, I would imagine, if it connects up to the train station, which it does now. So if we take our circular lines, and bearing in mind this is the one on the way back, and take them through here. There we go. Now we have a bus route through here, which hopefully will allow people to get to where they need to throughout the city of Burgh Le Marsh. One thing that we need to do is upgrade the connections for the rest of the cities through as well. So we have a line coming down this way. So if we took this road and continued this out, that'd probably be the best way to continue this through. So we take this road, continue this through down here. So if we just delete that bit for a second, put in a road here, and that can literally just connect in there. That's absolutely fine. And then have another road out that connects in here. And then one that continues down. So if we continue these bus lines down to here, then we can extend this line quite well. So we would want it after number 8 to go down this way. There we go, like so. And then we also have these circular lines as well. So if we did it after number 3, come down here, after number 5, come through here. Maybe something like that. So then we've got this one that connects up to the train route down here. We've also got a circular line that connects in to all these different lines as well. So hopefully that should enable a lot of movement through the city using these lines. So that'll be good. So that'll be Alford done. Coulsdon we haven't set up, so I just want to do Coulsdon a little bit differently. Bawtry's a little bit easier actually, because we've got this connection here. We can literally just have it connect straight into the existing he says the existing network here. So that literally just connects straight in, which will be a nice change of pace, because I think we'll do the same with Dover, hopefully. So if we put a road through here, and then we could continue that through actually. It doesn't have to stop there. Have that one connect in here. That's a little bit nuts of a connection, but hey ho. And then these two connect, and then we could literally just have this road continue its way through on this side. So we might need to delete that one back a little bit. But then if we connect that in, then we've got an interesting little connection out to that side of Dover. And we've got these connected straight in as it is. So that would be the main cities actually connected in. So I'm very excited. You may have noticed between episodes we've put in the stops, and we've also put in a couple of depots down here. So if we put in dual stocks, and then put this one on the green line, this one on the brown line, then we can see how this goes, because quite frankly I'm not too sure how many of these we'll need, but that will be them connected in then. If we do this one up here for Coulsdon as well, then hopefully we can set up a network through Coulsdon quite easily. We just have to actually put in the roads. So if we put in a passenger building on this side of Coulsdon, doesn't need to be that big. So we'll do a connection there. And we'll do a connection on this side as well. That can connect in here. And we could actually use this as a jumping off point for a network in Coulsdon. So bearing in mind that we don't currently have a public transport network in Coulsdon, we would have to put one in completely fresh. So I think what we'll do is we will have a road come round this way from here. And then we can put in a bus stop terminal. And it might actually be a good opportunity to put in some trams for Coulsdon. So if we did something like, we might not be able to fit in 30-meter ones. We might not be able to fit in 20-meter ones actually. How far does this go up? It goes up here, so might be able to get away with it up this way. That being said, it does look a little bit weird, doesn't it? That's sort of affecting the road. I tell you what. Let's take these out on this side. We actually want this to be electric trams. Right, so if we put in our tram lines, make sure they're electric, have these go around the city. We might do two. In fact, let's take that bit out. Right, so we need to put bus stops around the city. One's down here. We're just going to put them pretty evenly spread out throughout the area. And then hopefully these will cover the entire area. We're just going to do a circular line, which is fairly familiar for me. And what I would like to do is potentially do two lines. So if we split them up, down the middle, not too sure how this will go, but I'm interested to see it nonetheless. So, because we have two connections here, we will utilize those. So let's just double check. We used them 2 on this one. Did we use it on this one? No, we didn't. Right, so if we put in a tram depot, if we upgrade this bit to trams, we'll get one for each of these lines. Pop them on these. Ironically, this is our first tram line in the game on one of the smaller cities, which is I find ironic. But yeah, let's see how it goes with having 2 separate networks. I think it may work quite well, or at least I'm hoping it will work quite well. We just have to see how these do, because quite frankly, I really want to see how they get used, and they are actually getting a fair bit of use. So this one goes what counterclockwise. So this is public transport, rail. It's high speed, intercity, 1, and that's counterclockwise. So if we just copy that, pop it onto this one, and do clockwise, then hopefully they will work really quite well. We don't have any here yet, which is a bit strange for Bawtry. I would have thought that Bawtry would have utilised it a little bit, but it hasn't. So it's something that we'll just have to keep an eye on. Where's this line? Okay, I think when they cross each other, we will add a train onto each of the lines. So they're probably going to cross over here about now. So if we go into these 2, and then, oh, no, not that. Do that. Then hopefully they will be spread out a fair amount, and keep them quite well spread out across the networks. Oh, I'm really excited to see how these go. We need to name these. So we could name it like left hemisphere and right hemisphere maybe. for Coulsdon. So if we did public transport, road, because trams are still on the road, left hemisphere. In fact, this is number something, and it's for Coulsdon. This is left hemisphere clockwise. This is left hemisphere counterclockwise. This is right hemisphere. And that one is counterclockwise. And that one's clockwise. So if we just check how many of those there are. There aren't any. We've called it like Alford. Yes, that makes sense. So with the previous ones, we've actually done sort of north to south and east to west lines. So we haven't done it this way. So I'll be interested to see which way is more efficient. I reckon that these middle lines are probably going to get really quite more use than the ones on the outskirts, but you never know. So yeah, let's see how it goes. It looks like we've got some people down at Burgh Le Marsh getting on the lines, which is good. And we've got some people at Bawtry getting on the lines, and also down at Alford. Good. So they are actually seeing these as usable. I think we might have a bit of a problem here with the roads being so small in the connections. We might have to change this up a little bit. And to be fair, Alford needs to be split out into separate lines. This line is quite busy in its own right. It's literally all stuff going left here. So I think where this road is pretty busy, even with these train lines, we might need to make it larger. But for now, I just want to focus on the train lines and see how they do, because I'm hopeful that these will really start to take off. It's only been the first year or so, so it's going to take a little bit of time for them to pick up people as they go through. I think it's only fair if we change the colours a little bit. So we might go blue and red. I think that should work quite well. So if we paint that one blue, paint this one, I mean they're already red, but we'll go with a redder red than that red. If that makes sense. So then hopefully these will start to get a lot of use. We've got about 40 people on this one. We should start to see where people want to go on each side. I reckon Burgh Le Marsh is going to be extremely busy. But you never know. Looks like that's getting quite busy while I'm here. I want to focus on the trains, but at the same time, I don't want to ignore something like that. And, ooh. These need traffic lights. How is the traffic in Dover, for example? It's not too bad. It's starting to get a little bit busier around where the lights are, which is to be expected because stuff has to wait for the other stuff coming through to get to where it needs to go. But it should flow through pretty well. So that's really quite good. Down here, again, it's going to be somewhat busy. I would imagine that these will fall off a cliff almost now that the connections are, you know, redundant with this train line going through. What we may need to do is improve the lines that feed these go around. So if we look at the circular lines, these go around quite well. What we could do though is make them tram lines, and that may help keep them moving. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm really excited to see how these bus lines, how these train lines do. We actually still have a fair few people on these lines. Might just be left over while they're swapping over to over here. So these ones mostly want to go to Alford, and that's about it. I mean, Alford has the biggest amount of people going somewhere. These ones want to go down to Burgh Le Marsh. We should probably give Coulsdon a colour scheme. So I quite like that these ones are yellow. We'll keep it yellow. So that one can be the yellower of yellows. That one can be a little bit less of a yellow. And this one... Oh, hang on. No, we just did the exact same thing that we did before. We didn't actually swap between the... We'll make that one a darker yellow. So variations of yellow for Coulsdon. It may make telling them apart a little bit difficult, but hopefully they will start to feed this line quite well, because we've got 18 coming in this way, 19 coming in that way. So I'm quite interested to see how these do. Awesome. Oh wow, that's gone up. I think what we may do is upgrade these to trams. So if we upgraded these roads, it's a bit hard to see. Let's make that one white, and then I can see where the road is, or where the line is. Sorry. that doesn't quite seem right. Let's push it that way round. Right, okay. So if I put a tram depot down here, and then upgrade these to trams, and upgrade this to trams. Oh, it is already trams, that's fine. And then, considering Dover's quite large, we'll get like 6? 3 for either way. And we just need to change that back to brown colour. So hopefully that will work quite well. Then we just need to put these in the depot. Hopefully the circular lines there will work really quite well in bringing people down to the train station. I think we'll do the same here. So, got pink, which is somewhat showing up. Excuse me. Considering this road's quite busy, I might put the depot over here actually will be quite a good spot for it. So, Burgh Le Marsh is similarly busy as Dover. Just take the buses off. In fact, we had a lot of buses on that. So hopefully this will be able to cope with the trams on there. You never know, it might need more than what we've already put on there. This is a little bit bad. Potentially traffic lights here may help. Maybe the same up here as well. Let's see how that goes. I think with the bus lanes, it does the bus lanes first and lets them go, and then it lets the other ones go separately, which is quite interesting. I didn't realise that's how bus lanes worked in this game. So I might be more interested in using them, especially considering the actual trucks can use them as well. I think that works really quite well. So I might have to use bus lanes elsewhere in my cities. This is very busy. Fortunately, we have a tram coming down at the moment, so hopefully it can slurp up all these pedestrians. There we go. And take them to where they need to go. Got quite a lot of people going around. In fact, I don't think this is going to be enough. I'm going to add more on. So hopefully that will do what's needed. And let's colour them as well so that they're the same colour as the lines. Got a lot of stuff going on here. So I might upgrade this. Weird that they cross over here. Don't want that. How are these doing? They're up to 177. That's pretty crazy. How's this doing now? Actually, look at that. It's coping pretty well. It's down from like 100 and something. I think it was around 200 to 55. So that's a big change. I reckon that may well be partly due to these lines being utilised a fair amount by the passengers. So let's just check the destinations. So the top ones up here. Line usage is still pretty down. What if we check something like Burgh Le Marsh? Line usage 32% around Burgh Le Marsh. 11% to Bawtry. Okay, so it's higher the further away they are. That's weird. Is it because these ones are still going or something and they really need to stop? So if we go through these interconnecting lines and just remove those because they're no longer needed. Hold on. Annoyingly, it keeps resetting where it is in the list. I don't know whether these lines are actually getting any use. Oh, they seem to be a little bit more now, which is interesting. Don't know why it's changed so much. That's a bit annoying. We don't want these over here. Can we remove these out, please? Truth be told, I think the roads may have to change a little bit. So if we had this come down this way, and then this go that way, and then they can cross here, that might be a bit better than what we've got going on here. And then we can connect up these roads to this main road as well. Is this player owned? Yeah, let's remove that. Let's just see what happens if we allow the game to use those. Probably going to instantly change everything. So yeah, I don't know what to expect. It's first off created a weird way through there. Oh, here we go. Look at this. 30 odd people one way, 20 odd going the other way. This is still early days yet. We'll still need to change things up a little bit. Make sure that they're running efficiently. I mean, we could literally take these ones out now. They're no longer needed. Same with this up here. We no longer need that connection there. We might as well allow the road to connect in. This one actually serves as a connecting for this, so I just want to leave it there for that. What about down here? This one similarly is a connector to the rest of it and the public transport here, so I don't really want to affect it too much. How fast can these go? These trams, 43 miles an hour. Hopefully this should mean that Coulsdon grows a fair bit, and it has. Look at that. But how about things like Alford, which already had a connection? Maybe we should continue this down to here. line may need more buses. Because I anticipate it's going to get a lot busier. It might be that we need to make the circular routes trams, because that seemed to work quite well for these ones. Look at that. Super busy. Where's the trams? Oh, hang on. They're literally just going up there and coming back. Wait, what? Oh, have we broken it somehow? I think we have. So if we check trams... Yeah, for some reason it doesn't count as a tram. There we go. Now it's going through that way. But it doesn't actually have to. It could go through this way as well. Even connect up there. Or there. Or there. So we'll see how that does. I didn't realise it broke it quite so much. This one's really broken. We might have to swap where the trams come in. So if we gave potentially a building, one of the what are these called? Terminals, bus tram stations. Then that may help with the traffic here, the amount of foot traffic that's coming through. A lot of them just want to go up to the next stop, which is ironic. So they just want to go there. Victoria Street. In fact, Victoria Street is quite busy. So I wonder what they do when they get off at Victoria Street, whether they go onto this other line, going up and down here. I doubt it, but maybe. Right, so another 43 are going to get on there. That's good. Now that we've fixed things here, it might well help how things connect up. We got a lot that want to go to Dover, which makes sense because Dover's the highest place that they want to go. In fact, it makes sense to add a tram line here as well. So putting tram lines into those which are struggling a little bit. Whoops. So if we put a tram line round here, I don't know what's going on there. Then maybe let's upgrade this to a tram line. Right. So if we put trams, let's put 4 on. These buttons aren't really working too well for me, if you couldn't tell. And then we'll take off the buses. We'll see how that goes. So that's Bawtry done if we put them into Alford as well. So if we upgrade this line to be tram lines, let's see how that gets on if we add 2 onto either side. Hopefully that helps things out a little bit. I do hope they are using these to get to where they need to go throughout the city, because the circular line's only really meant to do so much, and then these are meant to help get people to where they need to go. In fact, if we extend this down here, this line, so after number 3, go down that way. They seem to be getting more use than they were before, so that's positive. These seem to be somewhat busy. Not breaking even busy, but busier than they were. We're going to have to swap things up for the cargo to fix this, but for now, I think the trains may well be working a little bit better, because we're starting to pull people through from the lines that are going backwards and forwards, which is good. This looks a little bit crazy. Hopefully it's not because of a... It might be because of this. But anyway. But yeah, I think, hopefully, the tram lines are becoming a bit of a success. And hopefully, by extension, the train lines are also becoming a bit of a success. I mean, this moved 300 people last year. Hopefully, that's only going to go up and up and up as time goes on. We have altered things slightly as to the direction they have to go. So down here it's moved a little bit to go through the city a little bit better. But in honesty, I'm just hoping that the line usage goes up. So the one to Dover is going up, which is good. And the one to Coulsdon's pretty high. In fact, that's gone through the roof. That wasn't there before, I don't think. And it's mostly because of this train line. I mean, there's no other reason for them to go that way. So, hopefully, these are working quite well. Have we upgraded this to trams now? Yeah, how's this doing? Oh wow, it's moving a lot more people than it was before. So hopefully, people are using these to go to the outer reaches of the city, and then using the circular lines to get to the train station. That's the idea, at least. Whether that is what it does in reality, I'm not too sure. But we'll just have to keep watching and find out. These are getting really busy. No one's going to Bawtry, which is a bit weird. I would have thought Bawtry would be a fair bit of use, but it's not. It's at 2%. So it might be that the cities nearby are still pretty busy, but then the ones further away, it's come down, possibly? I thought it had here. It definitely has here, because we had about 150 coming through here before. Down here, not so much. It's pretty nuts how busy Burgh Le Marsh is, really. But at least the cargo's getting to where it needs to go. I just wish that people would use these train lines that we put in a little bit more. I mean, that's a fair amount of people on them, and it's going up year on year, so hopefully it will get higher. But yeah, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you've thought with your thumbs. If your thumbs don't cut it, then please leave a comment. And until next time, have a good one. Cheers. Bye-bye.